Hey everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining me today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Amber Gonzalez, and I am a wife and I am a mother of 4, and I homeschool my kids. And this vlog is basically about our journey on buying a home. So if this is your first time seeing any of the videos that I've done, I encourage you to go to the very first video to watch, because that kind of sets the tone for the rest of them and you'll get more of an understanding of what this is about. But I love God. I love the Lord. So if you want to catch up on the videos, go for it. They are there for you to watch and be encouraged throughout the videos. So thank you again for joining in. So I know when we left California, that was a total shock to everyone. That was a total shock to us. We were not expecting to leave California. We had just made the announcement maybe a few months before we left, a couple months. Yeah, about 3 months before we left California, we made the announcement of us starting a church, Just Oakland. Church Oakland. Right? And I know some of you are wondering, well, what about Just Church? Didn't you guys just start a church? And we did. We were obedient to the Lord. The Lord said, start in May in your living room. Well, at the time, we were still living where we were living, and we started in our living room. And so it was there for 3 months, and then it was time for us to go. And we tried everything we could to stay in California, and it was just not working out. And so the Lord placed us here in South Dakota. So here we are. And so I know a lot of you guys have questions about Just Church, about what's going on with the church you just started. My answer to that is I don't have an answer. We are just on this journey with the Lord. And I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and she was like, look at Paul. Paul, he knew where he was called to, but he didn't go there right away. God had sent him to other places. And I was like, you know what? You're so right. I was like, I didn't even think about that. And so we have a lot of questions, and I'm still praying, God, why are we here in South Dakota? What are we to do here? Why are we at the church that we're at? Why are we serving in the week at the homeless shelter? What is all of this for, right? And so, but I don't have an answer to that yet, but I emailed a friend of mine, and he's also my mentor. And I said, he had mentioned something, and I was just like, whoa, am I so focused on Oakland that I'm missing the bigger picture here? And so, but I kind of mentioned my struggle between, I'm like, I'm here in South Dakota, but my heart is to Oakland. But I can't be fully here because I'm constantly thinking about Oakland. But at the same time, I'm like, but I can't give my all to Oakland because I'm here in South Dakota. So I'm like having this wrestling, this back and forth with all of this. And he responded with a text, and he just said, I'm praying for you. But Jeremiah 29, 5-7. And I looked it up, and I was like, I have a feeling I know what that is. I know what that is. Sure enough, it was already marked in my Bible. And so Jeremiah 29, 5-7 says, well, I'm going to start at verse 4. But it says, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says to all those I carried into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses and settle down. Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage, so that they too may have sons and daughters. Increase in number there. Do not decrease. Verse 7 says, also, seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. And so ever since we've been here, I mentioned in the last vlog that Jesus has been nothing but well, he's everything to us, but he has really shown himself to us as the bondservant, which is the burden lifter. After years and years and years of struggling and fighting and just barely making it and just constantly overwhelmed with finances or medical debt or whatever the case may be, we could never just get ahead. And so we come here and we are living out this word right now. We have had to leave California. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about this scripture. Let me give you a little bit of background about it. It was God's will for his people to be in exile because God was about to bring judgment upon Judah. So his people are now in exile, and his judgment was coming because of generations of rebellion against him. And it was God's plan that they were going to be there for a while. And so that while they were there, they were to make the best of their lives and their families. And so, although they were exiled, they were neither slaves or prisoners in their new land. And God wanted them to be a blessing wherever he put them. And so understanding that being in exile is not necessarily a bad thing. And so we had to leave California. That was our home. That was the only home we have ever known. Never in our wildest imaginations would we ever think we would have to leave the state of California. But nonetheless, we did. And we are here in South Dakota. We absolutely love it here. There are a lot of transitions that we had to go through. There are a lot of culture understandings that we have to learn. But it says here, pray for it. For if you pray for it, and as long as it prospers, you will too. And my heart, and I didn't even know this, but ever since I got here, I love our governor. I've been praying for our governor. And so now I'm learning a new wave of how to pray for a completely different state. So I'm trying to learn the ins and outs so that my prayers can hit the mark, that my prayers can be targeted in the right direction, praying for the precise things that South Dakota as a state needs and the people in this state need. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you. But what was such a struggle is that I heard the Lord say, a lot of people come to me like a map. They want me to tell them where to go and what to do. But if you just lean in close to me, I will guide you along the way. Sometimes that's how he wants to respond to us. He doesn't want to just tell us, okay, go there, go here. Just he sometimes the way he wants to respond to us and wants us to be is to just lean into him, and he will lead us and guide us along the way, and things will begin to unfold. And that's how it's been here. And so we are living this scripture out. We're living this out. In fact, take a look at some before pictures and then some after pictures. But I give you a heads up. There is one picture that is super dark because we were having a movie night. But look closely. You can see what the before picture of our living room was, because when we moved here, we had nothing. Take a look. So as I said, before we moved here, we had absolutely nothing. We had to start over. I mean, we didn't even have a trash can. We were hanging our trash bags on the oven. So everything down to the trash can is new. except the TV, but my husband is ready to get a new TV. We don't have cable, but we watch movies. That's what we do. We watch movies. But yeah, so we had to start over. We had to start fresh. But it's so interesting. We live next to a city called Rapid City. And that word rapid is what the Lord was speaking to my husband not too long before we moved out of California. And that's what's happening to us. Is things are happening rapidly. We're able to save faster. We actually have more than what we came with now. And everything you see is new. Can I tell you, we have never had anything new. We have never owned anything new except one thing in our marriage life. And that is one couch. One couch. Anything else, we have never had anything new. No other new furniture. Everything has been hand-me-downs. And there is nothing wrong with that because we've lived off of hand-me-downs for years. Anyways, that is all. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe to keep up with the latest videos. And again, I encourage you, go back to past videos. I've had some amazing testimonies from people that have watched those previous videos. And so it may bless you, and I hope it does. But as always, start today because there is no time like the present time. Take care, you guys.